Hello, we're back on Farming Simulator 25, and I have some questions on this about seeders. I had a video in Farming Simulator 22, but some things are a little bit different in 25, and some people need a little more detail. So let's take a look at how you get started with a seeder and what they do and what to look for. Okay, the first one you see on the menu is this puppy behind me, and we'll look at it on the menu. This is what it looks like. Let's take a look at the menu real quick. It's the Horsch Versa 3KR. Okay, that's it right there. Notice at the bottom of the page there, it only shows seeds and not fertilizer. Some of these seeders will seed and fertilize. Okay, like this one, it seeds and fertilizes. Some of them just seed. Okay, so you want to take note of that, and you want to see if it has any other equipment, that's required to go with it as you're looking. So this is it right here. A couple of things to note. You can change the size of the seed tank and a couple of design things. That's pretty much it on this one. You need 165 horsepower to pull that. It goes 3 meters wide, 7 miles an hour. And I'm going to show you some, at the end, I'll show you a little spreadsheet with kind of how all these compare. Okay, the next one is this puppy, the Onia Phoenix 3000. That's it on the menu there. You need 140 horsepower to pull that. It's 3 meters wide, goes 9 miles an hour. And it just seeds, doesn't do anything else. If you're going to buy that, it doesn't give you any kind of options. Okay, the next puppy up is this one. It's the Great Plains Seeder, and it's one of the better beginning ones for a number of reasons. Okay, it costs $49,500. But it seeds and fertilizes, and you need only 110 horsepower to pull it. So you can pull that with one of the smaller tractors. And since it seeds and fertilizes, it saves you a fertilization cycle that you have to do. Now, when you go to buy this, though, you got to be careful because it says at the top there, do you want the fertilizer unit? That's another $5,000. So be sure, if you want that, and most of you will, to check that box yes. And it's going to cost you then another $5,000. But it's a great package. And one of the things that's so great is you can pair that up with this small John Deere tractor that has 116 horsepower. And this tractor is very cheap too. So that's a sweet deal together. For under $100,000, you got a seeder and a tractor, right around $100,000. Okay, the next one up is the Aquila Drive 400F. Looking at the menu for this, Agromoss Aquila Drive 400 costs $58,500. Now notice the tank setup there. One, it seeds and fertilizes, which is good, but sometimes you have to check a box to get that to work. So look at the top there, seeds and fertilizers. So be sure you notice what you're doing there. It's going to cost you another $10,000 to get the fertilizer tank. Also, under the description, it said, additionally, this seeder offers a possibility to seed directly, no previous cultivating or plowing. So if you're planting one of these crops, okay, that you see down below there, you can seed directly without cultivating. So you can just seed right over your uncultivated field after it's harvested. And that's pretty good. It saves you a step. So something to consider when you're looking at these. These others do not. You're going to have to cultivate that first. So this one is pretty much worth the money there. Okay, next we have this puppy, the Pottinger Aerosim VT5000DD. That's a lot of words. Let's look at it on the menu. Okay, you need 200 horsepower to pull that. It goes 5 meters wide, 9 miles an hour. Okay, pretty good seeder there, but it does not fertilize. And you have to cultivate before you use it. Okay, next up is the Kuhn HR6040 RCS. Now, a word of caution on this one when you're looking at it on the menu. Okay, that's this. But notice there's no symbol there for seeds or fertilizer. So if you're using a controller, you can press in on the right joystick and it shows you that you need the seed tank to go with that. Okay, so if you're going to buy this, once you get the seed tank on there, now it will fertilize and seed. So just keep that in mind, a little word of caution there. But you need 300 horsepower for this, 6 meters wide, goes 7 miles an hour. And there's the tank right there that goes with it. Okay, next up is the Bednar Omega 6000 FL, you're going to need 240 horsepower for this. It has a path 6 meters wide and goes 10 miles an hour. And that's it there. Okay, you have a few options when you get it. Most of those are just cosmetic. Doesn't really change anything as far as seeding or fertilizing. This one is a drill type seeder, so it allows you to fertilize and seed without cultivating first. So that's an advantage. Okay, next up is the Kuhn S-Pro 6000 RC. You need 270 horsepower to pull this puppy, but it goes 10 miles an hour and has a path 6 meters wide. Okay, and that's it there. It costs $125,500, and there's no options you can get. You just buy it out directly, but it's a pretty good seeder, and it fertilizes, and it's a direct drill, so it does not require cultivation. So that's a pretty good purchase there for $125,500. Okay, you probably noticed they're getting bigger, and this one's even bigger. It's the Cockerling Ultimate 8000. You need 275 horsepower to pull it, but it goes 12 miles an hour and has an 8-meter path, which is not bad. It costs $181,000, but it only seeds. But it does allow you to seed without cultivating first because it's a direct drill type. Okay, the most horsepower intensive seeder that we have that is stock with the game is the Novag TForce Plus 950. You're going to need 415 horsepower to pull this puppy. It goes 7 miles an hour, but it has a path 9 meters wide. But it does direct drill, so it cultivates as it goes, and it seeds and fertilizers. Pretty good seeder, but it is kind of slow compared to some of the others, and it's very horsepower intensive. Okay, next you have the Limkin Saltaire 12. You need only 180 horsepower to pull that. It goes 9 miles an hour, is 12 meters wide. It's a pretty good seeder, but it only seeds, it does not fertilize, and you will have to cultivate first. Finally, the fastest seeder, the biggest seeder, is the Amazon Siton 15001-C. It requires only 300 horsepower to pull it, but it does not cultivate, but it does fertilize and seed. So it's one of the better seeders for the amount of horsepower and what it does. It's 15 meters wide, goes 9 miles an hour. All right, let me just show you how to put some seeds and fertilizer in these things. Okay, the most basic way is you're going to go here under Big Bad Bag Pallets, and you're going to buy some seeds, and you're going to buy some solid fertilizer for this type of seeder. Notice the icon down there and be sure that it's not liquid fertilizer. Okay, then I'm just going to get close to this, press in on the left joystick, and it's going to put my seeds in there. Then I'm going to get close to my fertilizer. Same thing, push in on the left joystick, and it's going to put my solid fertilizer in there. There are some planters that use liquid fertilizer, so be sure you're looking at the right symbol. Now it's ready to go, and all I do is hit LB and Y. You can see, and it's going to select what you're seeding there. Okay, the default is wheat. And that's it. Let me show you another way you could put seeds in it, because some maps have a seed and fertilizer dispenser. All right, suppose you had a seed and fertilizer dispenser. This one does both. By the way, it's called the multi-fruit buying station. So what I'm going to do is pull up here, and I'm looking for my little doors to open. Oh, there's the first one. So now I'm going to put seeds in there. Just filled it up with seeds, and I'm going to pull up a little bit further. And now the other doors will open. And I'm going to press in on the left joystick on console and hit A, solid fertilizer. And there you go, it is now full. Now some seeders, we'll hop back over and take a look at some of the other seeders. All right, some seeders, such as the Bednar, if you try to put seeds in it and it doesn't work, you probably need to open it. Okay, so this one you have to open first. If you pull up by the seeds, nothing happens. But if you open it and pull up, then both doors will open, and you can now put seeds in it, and then fertilizer. And there you go. Then the doors will shut. Now you can close it and go about your way. All right, that's pretty much it on Cedars. Here's some data for you to look at. It has various things. The name, the first sheet here is in the order that Farming Simulator 25 has them on the menu, and it has their cost, horsepower required, width, miles per hour, whether or not it fertilizes, if it direct drills or not, so you don't need a cultivator for those. The seeding speed is how fast it can do a field. The higher the number, the better. The tractor efficiency is how fast it can do a field compared to how much horsepower is required. The higher the number, the better. And the cost efficiency is the speed it can do a field versus how much it costs. The higher the number, the better. This next spreadsheet shows it sorted by seeding speeds. You can see the fastest one there is the Amazon. The next sheet there is sorted by tractor efficiency. The higher number there, the most efficient, is the Limkin Solitaire. And then finally they're sorted by cost efficiency, the higher number being the best, and that's the Amazon. So you can see the Amazon's pretty good seeder. And that's the data. You might want to go back and look at these and pause them so you can check out the data a little more. I went kind of fast, but that's it. I'm Farmer Teacher. Share this with your farming buddies, and I'll see you on the next go round. Bye-bye.